Parrikar sir, honorable members, we have been discussing for almost 3.5 hours on Pathankot, and I like to bring certain facts before this August House, because what I realize is every talk everyone gives, the information source is some media report. I wonder, when no media people were allowed to go in Pathankot, how did they know all these facts? So there has to be some masala in the facts or deletion of certain crucial element. We have to understand that Pathankot is an accumulation of an asymmetric war. When conventional war fails, as it failed in 65 and 71, the enemy, 65 and 71, the enemy resorted to 1,000 cuts trying to bleed India. These are small attacks of weak forces on a stronger force, when the weak forces know themselves that they are not going to succeed in defeating the stronger force. What they do is, of course, whenever a fedayeen or terrorist comes across, they know that they will be eliminated. In spite of that known fact, still they attacked on a concentrated small areas, trying to create disturbance and demoralization of the stronger forces. Pathankot has to be taken as a part of asymmetric war, and we should realize that this is an attempt wherein the opposition forces never expected to win, but wants to create sort of a discord amongst our political leadership and among the other leadership, including military leadership, so that moral strength of the military leadership falls down. This aspect is very important, and I will like to point out, things don't happen overnight. The intelligence built up cannot be done overnight. One of the members said that I mentioned that if you inflict pain on India, on us, we will inflict pain on those individuals and organizations who have inflicted pain on us. I think this has to be carried out. When 6 Dogra was attacked in Northeast, the Indian government used its forces and ensured that those who inflicted the pain were taken for task. Today probably that is one of the points why Northeast is comparatively, of course the accord signed also has its role, but Northeast is comparatively much more peaceful. I am not saying it is still peaceful. Intelligence which was developed over whether it's deep assets or the attempt of tedious formation by General V.K. Singh, fell to the political aspirations, political policies and political scoring point. It's not only Irfan Jihad, which is a political issue, but Israt Jahan, which was a political issue, but I think TDS also became a political issue. A unit set up to eliminate terrorists was brought into open, leaking every information, demoralizing the forces. I have seen many, so I don't want to quote more instances, but I can quote more instances when military intelligence has been sacrificed at the altar of political goals. Once you do this, to build up confidence and to build up intelligence and to build up deep asset takes time. It doesn't happen overnight. We are in process definitely to ensure that our enemies cannot go scot-free. And that is why I had mentioned those individuals and organizations. I had not indicated any country. I had indicated certain organizations who are making statement across border about India, which we hear many times. They should be taught lesson. This compromise earlier probably is one of the reasons why we are suffering today. It was absolutely perfect that Saugat Rai said about failure of the terrorists to damage the target or to ensure that the target they had, they could successfully achieve. Why have terrorists shifted towards Punjab? There is one reason, is because the security forces has tightened their grip in Jammu Kashmir. I'd like to only quote two figures. 2014, 104 terrorists were neutralized in Jammu Kashmir, while we lost only 31 security forces. 31 is a great figure for me, but this I am comparing because earlier the ratio used to be 1:1 almost. Now the ratio has shifted in favor of security forces to 3:1. 2015 it is 97 and 33. I'd like to indicate very clearly that the security forces tightening in Jammu Kashmir has resulted into heat on terrorists, and they are trying to shift downwards. Probably Pathankot is one of the reasons why this happened. And I am trying to would like to inform the House that when we acted proactively against a boat 1 year prior to this incident, also on a New Year day, there was a lot of criticism. Though we had not shot at the boat, why Coast Guard had to go 200 kilometers from the border and act proactively. I'll not go into the details of who did it, but these are the backgrounds under which Pathankot happened. Speaker sir, I will like to indicate that some information which is wrongly, I referred to a boat in the Gujarat coast on 1st. I just brought out an incident, I know. But that time there were a lot of criticism saying that why did you go 200 kilometers away and intercepted it? So you have to intercept your enemies away from the coast. Some people said, I have not said, you said it. In case of Pathankot, I would like to inform the House that when NSA conducted the meeting, the Army Chief, Air Chief were present in the meeting. They were consulted, details were discussed, but it is not that we knew about the terrorists have come to near Pathankot at least at 3:30 on 1st of January.
Don't interrupt like this. No, let
You ask, you please note and ask.
Please address the chair, Honorable Defence Minister.
you let him complete.
Honorable Defence Minister to please address the chair. Please.
बराबर है. लोग जब सुनते नहीं हैं तब ऐसा ही होता है. I said it came to the notice.
What is this, sir? He is telling you that
हाँ तो point miss कर देना नहीं सुना है.
I'm giving you step.
address the chair instead of addressing you. He is telling his remark.
That is not the fact.
That is not.
What I said that it is not a fact that we knew about some terrorist presence or doubtful presence of terrorists only at 3:30. We had been informed. Suno to pura. We came to know about suspected terrorist presence at 5:55 in the morning of 1st January. 3:30 when NSA conducted a meeting, there was a specific information. And when this meeting was conducted, Army Chief and Air Chief both were consulted, they were present in the meeting. So if someone thinks that Army was not consulted, it is a wrong interpretation of the available information. We knew about the incident at 5:55 in the morning of 1st. Pura suno, baad mein pucho. When Brigadier R.R. Singh, Station Commander of Tibri Cantonment, informed Tibri, वो नोट राज्यसभा में वोटिंग है. Tibri Cantonment Gurdaspur informed AOC Pathankot at 5:55 that 4 suspects in army fatigues hijacked a Mahindra jeep around 5 hours and may be heading towards Pathankot. That was the first information received. So civil police were contacted for ensuring that outside perimeter patrolling is carried out. Villagers were contacted also at 6 o'clock by AOC. At 6:15, SSP Pathankot also informed that this above message, what was earlier conveyed to them. So this tightening of security was going on till around 3:11 when there was a specific information that terrorists are inside the military installation. Military installation, terrorists are inside a military installation. Now it should be noted that when you say military installations, there are, the number वो अलग है, number का इतना महत्व अभी नहीं है. Information मिला terrorists are there. There is Pathankot Air Force base there, but there is also 51 infantry brigade which is next door. There is 29 infantry division plus 1 brigade, and there is 21 sub area of the army, and it was not very clear where the terrorists have entered. So it is not only Pathankot Air Force base, but there are 3 more army installations within 4-5 kilometers. So that's why information was military base. It need not be Air Force base at that time. At 3:30, this information and meeting of NSA took place. At 4:12, Mi-35 helicopters were also launched to find out. At 17 hours, Army QRT teams were requested by, it is wrong notion that Army was not requested. Army was requested to provide QRT teams. Army's response was, we will provide QRT teams on requirement because we are also on alert. The army bases also there are on alert. They are all within about 7-8 kilometers distance. If anyone wants to see the map also, he can see. Though I can't lay it on the table of the house. कोई जाए उधर तो उसको समझ जाएगा. I will not lay it on the table of the house, but individually देखना है. नजदीक में तो basically the issue was not very clear whether terrorists have entered a Air Force base or army installation. और आर्मी ने QRT टीम रेडी रखी थी with 10 minutes notice to be sent to any of this installation. Meanwhile, decision was simultaneously taken to move the NSG, mainly because Pathankot Air Base has Air Force asset and it has about 3,000 families staying there. 3,000. Urban जो आपने बोला urban warfare, the NSG is trained in urban warfare. NSG was required because there are 3,000 family members. Had these terrorists entered the family quarters, it was NSG which would have been required. Army was kept ready. The Western Command, when he flew there, Chief of Air Force, he took with him Garuda's additional Garuda commandos. And it was first at about 2 o'clock, 2:20, the UAV which was launched, we spotted this movement. Terrorists were not moving freely. They were hiding in a MES area where discarded trucks and other material was lying. They were hiding for the probably for the full day. When their movement was noticed by UAV, unmanned aerial vehicle, commandos from Garuda were launched and not NSG. One Garuda commando was shot in that exchange, and when they realized that they will be eliminated, the balance 3 terrorists were hiding there. Totally 4 were that in MES area. They ran away towards this DSC cooking area, wherever there. And there the NSG started cordoning them off. At 4:30, this happened at 3:30. At 4:30, Army quick reaction team did enter Pathankot Air Base. So किसी को बराबर मालूम नहीं है कि आर्मी क्यों नहीं डिप्लॉय की. Army was fully deployed. At 4:30, they reached there. they and the standard SOP and ministry का जो rule है, उसमें when there are, I'll read the exact rule. Whenever there is a multi-agency operation in which army is called in, the command and control of operation shall remain with the army. And this was immediately assumed by the army, and the army was conducting the operation. They got 5-6 BMPs, they got other vehicles there. The terrorists were surrounded in a big ditch where they could not be seen, and using all these weapons and also the Air Force helicopters, finally by around 5:30, the one was killed by DSC Jawan, 3 balance were eliminated there. So at this moment, 3 o'clock the same day, I had conducted a meeting and we had come to conclusion that there are probably more terrorists. That's why the operation was kept on. If you see my tweet does not say that the operation is over. There was probably a small error which was immediately corrected.
पहले बोलने दो ना।
मेरा और होम मिनिस्टर का बहुत अच्छा कोऑर्डिनेशन है। मैं वही बोलता हूँ ना, आपको वही जवाब देता हूँ। ट्वीट्स का नहीं है।
Please sit down, please.
Please don't correspondence with each other. बोलता हूँ।
आप बोलिए, मिनिस्टर साहब, आप बोलिए।
सुनना नहीं चाहते। आप सुनना नहीं चाहते क्या?
पूरा सुनो ना।
आप बोलिए।
You are more interested in TV coverage.
No, please.
Then listen to me. I didn't disturb you.
Please, please.
Speaker sir, I didn't disturb him.
No, please, you go on.
बीच में इतना बोलते हैं।
Next day at 11 o'clock, the balance 2 terrorists were engaged when they started firing. And शाम को 10 के बाद में फायरिंग का कुछ भी इंसिडेंट नहीं हो गया. So we presume. He doesn't seem to be interested in that.
Please, he is speaking. You allow him to speak.
मंत्री जी ने बड़े विस्तृत तरीके से हमें भी बताया है और देश को भी बताया है कि पल पल के ऑपरेशन में क्या
not yielded. I said because I can't go sitting and replying to you. मेरा
Senior ji, honorable minister is not yielding. You please sit down. Afterwards, you
उनको नोट करके बाद में पूछने दो. फाइनली अगर पूछ सकते हैं.
Exactly.
When he sat, we thought that he has invaded.
Speaker sir.
Chairman
sir, this incident totally took only 43 hours, not 3 days, 4 days. And the reason was very simple. The moment we had a meeting, we very clearly knew that we had trapped the terrorist in about 200 by 200 meter zone. My instructions to the army chief was very clear. We don't lose any more person right from now till we eliminate them. Take your time. There may be newspaper, media, continuous pressures for concluding the operation in time. My instructions were no pressure for time, because if you have trapped them properly, where will they run? We will eliminate them. Eliminate them without losing anyone. Or capture them. That was also another reason why we took time. Nobody could be captured. because the two terrorists who started firing at 11 o'clock on the next day, 3rd, they probably didn't have AK-47, but they had pistols with them and lot of hand grenades and other explosives. So they started throwing hand grenades using the explosives, and there was a pistol firing, revolver firing, not AK-47 firing. But there was an attempt. We had also landed forces on that building. They were then taken out because we realized that we will not be able to capture them because there are inside concrete cupboards in which they were hiding. So it is ultimately a decision of the local commander how to go about it. The instructions were general in nature that you don't lose your men. We had lost 6 people on the previous night. We did not want to lose anyone. Colonel Niranjan, who went there, it is wrongly painted that he did an error and all that. We have to honor our battle casualties. We should honor our shaheeds. Because he was a highly trained, had a 2,000 hours of bomb explosion, detonation of in a bomb squad, and highly decorated personnel who fell to bad luck or whatever it is. This was a new way the terrorists hid the bomb. Normally there is a mechanism by which they do it. But this was hidden in such a way that when it was taken out, it was a booby trapped in a different way, not the normal SOP. Anyway, I will not go into that. We lost the 7 person there, but we didn't want to lose any more. And since we have encircled them, we were very sure that they are not in position to escape. I think these are the realities. Paris attack के साथ आपने compare किया. Paris attack was a suicide bombing attack, where also there was indiscriminate firing, killing 130 people. The attack lasted for about 4 hours. उसके बाद में क्या हुआ मालूम है? पूरा फ्रांस में emergency लग गया. We handled situation in a normal circumstances. In France, there was total emergency for 3 months. France sealed the borders. House to house search was conducted. I'm not talking about because people compared Paris to this incident. Pathankot was a terrorist attack on an army base where we managed to control them within 200 by 200 meters of area, which is away from tactical area, which was away from residential colonies. There were some foreign trainees. I can't reveal which country they were. I told you the fact. There were foreign trainees who were evacuated successfully without any problem. I think we totally foiled the attempt of the terrorist in creating a big scenario. However, I feel that we are beating around the bush for issues which actually should have been considered in a different perspective. The wars, this has to be treated as war. Let us be very clear, even small incidents of terrorism of this nature has to be treated as war, and they have to be given the same importance as well as secrecy they need. You cannot go on having a running commentary about such operations on the televisions or on this. This puts security forces in danger in many occasions, and I have seen it is also wrong that we did not move security forces at 8 p.m. on the same night to from one para from Samba came to Pathankot, दूसरा नाहन से दूसरा रात को 12:30 in the night. Another group was moved to the Samba, from Nahan to Gurdaspur में भेजा था. So security forces, special forces were moved. See, इसमें एक सबसे important चीज नाहन हिमाचल में है, वहाँ से special forces were shifted to Gurdaspur. और no, I am telling because there was a question mark whether we moved enough when there were available. Why you didn't use it? We used it. सुने, अरे मुझे मालूम है, मैं जो इन्फॉर्मेशन दे रहा हूँ वो इन्फॉर्मेशन हाउस में भी हम देते हैं, इसके लिए उतना ही इन्फॉर्मेशन दे रहा हूँ केवल बिकॉज देयर वाज एन एलिगेशन दैट नो स्पेशल फोर्सेस वेर शिफ्टेड देयर. आई एम टेलिंग यू स्पेशल फोर्सेस वेर शिफ्टेड देयर. सो डोंट, नहीं जरूरत है, क्योंकि पूरा कैलिब्रेशन जो हमला हो रहा है उसमें government did not, army did not act in an appropriate manner. There are many more things which I will not like to reveal, where army and the forces acted with all the standard procedures they are trained for, and they acted properly. We cannot give everything. What could be given to the house and in general public domain has been informed by me to you. I think that to make such issues political issues and a issue of debate is dangerous for nation's security. We should start treating such terrorist attacks as more of a war, a mini war conducted by our adversaries because they are weak. I can assure you that the gaps have been filled. When I said gaps, I am also aware if someone can come in my house, maybe I caught him and trapped him in one room, that indicates some weakness. We have already done security audits of all the defense establishment. We are acting based on the recommendation, and defense budget 24% was reported by a newspaper. I don't know where he got the figure, but we have used the full defense budget which was allowed by to us. Not only that, no, it's wrong. December figure was 67.08%. I can assure you that not only that, I have used a lot of money which was lying in US government under foreign military sales, and we have an agreement with them now by which for next 2 years we won't have to send them dollars for procurement of those foreign military sales. So all these aspects are taken into consideration. Please, I request everyone through you across the country, they should realize that there are many things we cannot reveal. अगर हम लोग अगर क्या करने जा रहे हैं, कैसा सिक्योरिटी ब्रीच ये कर दिया, इसके बारे में अगर डिटेल बताएं, तो I think obviously the enemy will take chance of that and will use that for purpose of this. So I can assure you that defense installations are secured, और 2014 के 5 दिसंबर के बाद में पूरे जम्मू कश्मीर में अभी तक 1.5 वर्ष हो गया. There is not a single attack on army installations. So please remember the type of security audit we are doing. We have set up a committee for security audit. नहीं, वो वहाँ टाइट होगा, इसके लिए वो सब अभी सब किया, अभी सब जगह किया है. So I assure the House that the defense forces have taken necessary steps to ensure that there is no breach in security of the defense establishments. Also, command and control is perfectly well established. SOP exists. No one need to worry. We were informing each other quite frequently on the issues, and we met very regularly on the issues. बाकी जो है वो कई चीजें आपको होने के बाद समझ जाएगी. थैंक यू.